If I were to ask if you believed in legends, you'd probably say no, of course you didn't. After all, the only legends we know are Celtic or medieval, or based on local folklore. Yet we've all been told by friends of strange stories and events that have definitely happened to their friends and acquaintances. Like the discovery in a big department store of a live snake in a Persian carpet. Cars that run 1,000 miles on a single tank of petrol. Alligators in the sewers and ghost hitchhikers. And then there are those stories of flying saucers and people who can bend metal using only the power of their mind. Specialists in folklore call all these stories urban legends. Stories with little or no basis in fact, but they're told so often that they become what we believe is the truth. Tonight, we will explore some of these legends, but remember, for the next 45 minutes, nothing is impossible. My two house guests tonight also have very strong connections with relatively modern-day legend, the vampire. She has starred in movies as both villain and vampire, and he is a man who changed the bad name of Dracula into a great name for the box office. She has also written novels, was a member of the Spanish National Theatre, and has been a writer of the classical Doctor Who television series. And he, according to Halliwell's Filmgoer's Companion, seems to have made more films than any other living actor. One of the British cinema's greatest international stars. Welcome Ingrid Pitt and Christopher Lee. Sorry, I had to leave the table for a moment.
That's all right, darling.
I was worried about that statement, you know, of Leslie Halliwell.
Yes.
I just hope that John Carradine isn't listening to this program.
Well,
because he tells me he's made 400 films.
But you see, it's the quality that counts, not the quantity, right?
Of course, yes, absolutely.
Yes. Do you know how many films you've made?
Well, I'm told by the people who
By Leslie
check
Halliwell.
these things. No, not in this particular instance. I'm told it's now about 162.
That's right. I actually tried to count them up when we looked it up, and not only that, but I've averaged it out, and I won't say how many years you've been filming, but you've made something like 4 films a year for every year that you've been working.
That's about right,
That's
yes.
absolutely incredible.
My God, he must be rich.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
That's one of the reasons.
All this belongs to me, really.
Yeah.
Your bank manager doesn't shout at you.
One of the reasons I invited him, you see. I'm going to talk about some loans in a minute.
Of course,
no.
of course.
Yeah.
Actually, what I do want to talk about is something called telekinesis, which is actually meant to be the power of the mind to move inanimate objects. Now, I'm not sure if that's ever been established, but I brought along a few little metal bars. Let's tip these out, see if I can find a few. There we go. And if you watch closely, we will try and get these to move. Watch that now. Now. You have to watch very closely because it takes a while. Thing happens. There we go. You have to help me a little bit.
Oop.
Did something move there?
Yes.
That one did.
Yes.
Well, okay, would you so just wave your hand towards a little bit? A little higher, so that's good. That's fine.
Oop.
I can do it. I'm magnetic. Look, 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 look,
Yeah,
look.
this one's moving.
Come on, you little
This
one.
one moved too?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Oh, and
look
the
at that,
other
you've
one.
got, and the other one moved.
I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I can do it.
Which are you?
Oh!
Fantastic. You are very strong.
Yes.
That is amazing. You say you're a witch?
Yes, absolutely.
So have you done this kind of thing before?
Only to my husband. I can make him fly out of bed.
Can you? But every morning.
Yes.
Let me see if I can actually demonstrate to you that we can do something like that. Now that is only when you know what you're doing.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
How fantastic. Oh. It's not got a string on it.
No, otherwise you would see something. I mean,
How
you couldn't be
incredible.
closer than that, could you?
Can I do that?
I don't know. No? Try again. Just put your hand over it like that. My goodness, you are doing it. Look at that. Put your hand underneath, the other hand underneath. Put
I
this
wish my
underneath.
tone could see this.
I'm sure you will be able to. Now, look at that. That is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I'm not joking, because I don't think many people can do that sort of thing. Fantastic. Well done. That's incredible. That really is something. Well done. I've had lots of people try that, because when you do these things, very often, even the glass is moving now.
Everything's moving.
Yeah,
Women's Lib are very proud of you after this.
No, this is a slightly thinner one, and normally we try with the thinnest, like a needle, and get people to do it with a needle, but you did that incredibly well with a heavy one like that. So if you'd like to keep that as a souvenir...
Oh, yes, thank you.
Just promise me one thing.
Anything.
I'll take you up on that another time. At this moment, promise me you'll never try it on your own, because you may be disappointed.
Oh, all right, then.
Sorry about
Could
that.
I learn to bend this, maybe?
Well, you can learn to bend it, but it will take a long time.
You'll teach me later.
Take at least half an hour.
Okay.
I'd like to just take the theme a little further for me. People get very suspicious, and you can't blame them. But you brought along a cube which I gave you earlier today,
Yes.
and you've had a good look at it.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And you've had a good look at that, too.
Yep.
Now, that cube is just a cube made out of plastic. It's fairly heavy, but the idea now is for me to try and seal it into a container, which I have over here. Right. Now, that's sealed. That's a solid lid there, and a solid lid there, and there are no holes anywhere.
Yeah.
And this is the interesting part. If I put it here, can you turn around? To see
Yes.
it? Completely isolated, I will try and make that move.
Oh, you can't do that.
I know it seems impossible, but I tell you, it's not quite the same, because the hand won't come into this, nor the mind. What I do is I've got a rather interesting piece of electronics equipment here, which I'll just switch on, and this one as well. Now, I must tell you, you can see this much better when the lights are down, so let me just switch the lights down a bit. And if you watch closely, as I manipulate these, first of all, you get some rather pretty patterns happening. Can you see that?
Yes.
And these are amazing things. They're called light sculptures. And by holding the two and putting the cube in between, about there, I should be able to get it to do something. Now, let me see if I can get it to rise a little bit.
Oh, my God.
Now that's fully charged now, and the incredible thing is, because what people always think there might be something built into my desk, is that we can actually try this now ourselves. I'm going to put this on the table in front of you, and as you can see, there is, of course, no connection. At the moment, it's still staying up there. I'd like you to take your hand in a moment and keep it